on the day that both of them had to go back to work, meaning Ryan had to go back to film, Wayfarer gets that shocking email of demands. Anyways, jumping back into, he then moves immediately to ask to change their production dates. I would have your line producer's face tattooed to my perineum. Perineum is one of the most nervy parts of the human body to expose to trauma. What? Deadpool after party. Ryan went and found a William Morris Endeavor and told that executive that they were working with a sexual predator, referring to Justin Baldoni. So we find out that when she starts getting bad press, and this is a perfect time for Ryan to manipulate her, in my opinion, I'm going to draft a statement that Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer have to read to save Blake's reputation. Ryan demanded that Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer lie to the public. So they gave them the opportunity, basically put a gun to their head and said, this is a statement that we want you to read. So this is like why I love this lawsuit, because this is an insight that everything you read is BS. Sony informed them that there would be a cast-wide boycott if James Heath or Justin Baldoni attended the premiere. I have just been amazed how the cast just like knew that Justin was a good person, but went along with this anyways. Like all of these people who, if you even aspire to be like a Hollywood actor and actress, you're dealing with someone who probably has some narcissistic tendencies. I'm not saying everyone, but the majority. This is why we have these stereotypes about Hollywood.
Is Blake Lively orchestrating a ruthless Hollywood plot to sabotage Justin Baldoni, or is she simply caught in a firestorm she helped ignite? Rumors say her underwhelming acting range pushed her to use strong-arming tactics, with an assist from Ryan Reynolds and even Taylor Swift. Word on the street is that Justin Baldoni got cornered by a wave of allegations he never saw coming. Now, the question is, how far did Blake go to get her way? It begins innocently enough. It Ends With Us was a passion project for Justin Baldoni. He secured the rights, developed the script, and planned to direct. Everything changed once Blake Lively came on board, bringing new energy and demands that quickly raised eyebrows. From rumored script rewrites to persistent creative clashes, the tension escalated faster than anyone anticipated. Even crew members reported feeling torn between a dedicated Justin and a star actress who, some claim, was overstepping her skill set. At first, people saw it as typical Hollywood drama. Creative disagreements happen all the time. Yet whispers circulated that Blake wanted unprecedented control, possibly worried her performance wouldn't hold up if Justin's original vision remained intact. As the friction intensified, more insiders started siding with Justin. They viewed him as the true creative force, stifled by an actress whose ambitions exceeded her on-screen abilities. The question nobody could answer then was, why was everyone flipping so fast? Was there an unseen puppet master behind Blake's budding campaign to take over Justin's project? Before long, the story shifted from mere artistic disagreement to alleged blackmail. A hush-hush Reddit post, made months before lawsuits were filed, claimed Blake threatened to accuse Justin of on-set misconduct if Sony refused to give her final say over the edit. Despite Sony caving to her demands, the New York Times eventually ran a smear piece on Justin anyway, raising questions about whether Blake betrayed the deal or if someone else was pulling the strings. From those revelations, a darker picture emerged. An actress armed with star power, apparently willing to risk reputations to maintain control. Justin's fans watched in horror as the narrative flipped against him. Almost overnight, media outlets started labeling him a problematic figure based on claims that later turned questionable. Meanwhile, Blake enjoyed the spotlight, subtly casting herself as a victim. If you ask Team Justin, it was nothing short of a calculated move to undermine his authority, overshadow his involvement, and manipulate the public's perception. Today, with more receipts leaking daily, it feels less like a conspiracy theory and more like an insidious power play by a starlet whose talents, many argue, remain overshadowed by her personal connections. Enter Taylor Swift, an icon of pop with a knack for shaping her image, and possibly others' images too. While many believed she merely dropped by the set to see her longtime pals Blake and Ryan, inside sources say she hijacked a crucial meeting. Justin later hinted he felt cornered, forced into accepting rewrites championed by Blake, and quietly endorsed by Taylor's colossal influence. When the lawsuit details exploded, rumors swirled that Taylor tried to distance herself from Blake's drama, possibly planting stories to protect her own brand. Even more startling was the claim that Taylor's involvement extended to musical choices for the film, pushing out an original composer she apparently disliked. Some called it a power flex. Others saw it as a sign that everyone, including Taylor, was catering to Blake's agenda. And behind it all loomed a question. Did Swift's PR might help secure that damning New York Times piece, tipping public favor against Justin? If you look at it from Justin's perspective, it's one more shift in the production that slipped out of his grasp, each time to the benefit of Blake and her circle. The drama ballooned further once Ryan Reynolds, famous for his biting wit, allegedly set his sights on Justin. With Ryan off filming Deadpool vs. Wolverine, rumors flew that Blake and Justin got too close. Text messages, flirtatious banter, and whispered set chemistry fueled speculation of an affair. Team Justin insists nothing improper happened, but Ryan's rumored fury might have lit a fire under the smear campaign. Skeptics believe Ryan's comedic style turned dangerously personal, pressuring colleagues to distance themselves from Justin. After all, TJ Miller once called out Ryan for crossing lines under the guise of humor. Perhaps it's no surprise the Deadpool star took jabs at Justin in ways that echoed Blake's allegations. The result? A work environment growing more hostile, and a creative control meltdown that pinned Justin as the problem. The tipping point arrived when the New York Times published a jaw-dropping expose about Justin. Suddenly, the alleged blackmail rumors seemed more concrete, particularly since a single actress, even one as known as Blake Lively, might lack the leverage to engineer such a story at the Times. Candace Owens, never shy to speak her mind, pointed a finger at Taylor Swift, who famously maintains deep press connections. The theory goes that Taylor, working in tandem with Blake and Ryan, helped steer the narrative so Justin would emerge as the villain, and they'd gain control over the final cut. For Justin, it was a public nightmare. Publications devoured the headlines, spinning them until he seemed indefensible. Yet, as more behind-the-scenes evidence leaked, an alternate narrative surfaced. Maybe Justin wasn't the manipulator. Maybe he was the pawn. That possibility shined a harsher light on Blake, who at this point had overshadowed nearly everyone else's creative input, and had the backing of two massively influential celebrities. For a while, it looked like Justin was stuck. Only now do more people see glimpses of the truth, which suggests he was cornered by a star actress with questionable talent, her comic hero husband, and an ultra-powerful pop star who might have utilized her press connections to direct the story in ways that protected her own brand. Long before the mainstream media latched onto the drama, that Reddit post read like an eerily accurate prophecy. It detailed how Blake reportedly strong-armed Sony, give her editorial authority, or face a horrifying PR crisis alleging on-set harassment. Sony caved, but a Times article still appeared, slamming Justin. To many, that alone suggests Blake's willingness to double-cross, stirring conspiracy theories that she was either incompetent in her role or determined to sabotage Justin for personal gain, or both. In hindsight, everything the whistleblower predicted came to fruition. From Justin's banishment to Blake's roundabout control over the film's soundtrack, the account lined up too neatly for anyone to ignore. It raised serious doubts about Blake's integrity and the trust fans place in public figures. Some wonder how her relatively modest acting abilities might have fueled such drastic actions. After all, overshadowing Justin's legitimate vision could mask her own shortcomings, as well as quell her insecurities about delivering a nuanced performance. While Hollywood thrives on sensationalism, blackmail and extortion cross a legal line. If Blake did threaten Sony with false or exaggerated claims against Justin, that's more than just celebrity gossip. Fans are demanding accountability, saying no one, even a star who's married to Ryan Reynolds, gets a free pass for alleged coercion. Whether authorities could pursue charges depends on proving malice and false claims, but the public conversation is already swirling with calls for an investigation. It's not just about a single threat either. Taylor Swift's purported involvement, from press manipulation to overshadowing other composers, suggests a web of power plays that might raise eyebrows in a courtroom. Whether it's criminal or not, the pattern certainly looks shady. And as more documents, text, and testimonies come to light, an official probe becomes a possibility, even if it's just to clarify which side is distorting the facts. To put it plainly, Blake Lively has never been a universally acclaimed actress, and everything we're hearing suggests this scandal might highlight her insecurities more than her talents. She joined It Ends With Us, a movie Justin nurtured from the start, then swiftly maneuvered to alter the script, the edit, and ultimately, the narrative. It's not unusual for big names to influence a project, but strong-arming your own director, threatening to smear him to the press, and roping in external forces crosses the line. All signs point to Justin being the real creative heart who got stomped on by someone more worried about spotlight and control. Ryan Reynolds might have escalated the tension if he suspected a romantic spark between Blake and Justin. Add Taylor Swift's behind-the-scenes PR power to the mix, and Justin never stood a chance in the court of public opinion. But as more evidence surfaces, many are rallying behind him, seeing him as the honest victim of an orchestrated takedown. It's a classic Hollywood story, an underrated talent overshadowed by bigger names who may have used shady tactics, possibly to mask a lesser acting ability. In a town brimming with shadowy secrets, this scandal has revealed a cutthroat underbelly where reputations get traded like currency. Blake Lively's alleged role in smearing Justin Baldoni puts a glaring spotlight on just how manipulative Hollywood can be, and how subpar talent can lean on underhanded methods. With fresh receipts emerging daily, more people are questioning whether her moves were legal, ethical, or both. And for now, we're firmly on Team Justin, awaiting the day these whispers become undeniable facts. As the story continues to unfold, there's always more to discover. Thanks for tapping in now. Like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know when more secrets come to light.